Raise your right hand. You swear or affirm the evidence you're about to present in the matter and hearing should be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth.
Your Honor, are you judging me? And no law is above God's law. So I cannot honor any of your laws. It supersedes every single law that you guys have given me. I am friends with.
If you guys enjoy content like this, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. It really helps me out a lot. Now, let's get back to the video, because today's court hearing is something else. We've got a very entertaining case here. The woman you see in the top left is being brought into court for failing to pay over $2,000 in court fees. But instead of addressing that, her entire defense is based on the claim that she's not a citizen and that God's law is above all other laws. This is despite the fact that she's been involved in shoplifting and other legal issues. What really makes this hearing stand out is how confidently she sticks to this argument, even as it completely falls apart in real time. The judge has a calm but firm demeanor throughout, which makes his reactions even more interesting as he listens to her claims. You can tell he's heard arguments like this before, and is not buying any of it. By the end of the hearing, the judge hands down a sentence that feels pretty justified given how uncooperative and detached from reality her arguments are. Credit to court nerds for the original video. We'll be reacting to it here. I'll jump in with commentary along the way, but for now, let's go ahead and dive into this courtroom moment and watch how both the attorney and the judge shut this down.
We're asking that Ms. Lott is incarcerated until the $2,755.40 is paid, Your Honor. And Your Honor, I am asking for attorney fees for today, Your Honor, and even me having to file this motion and continue to, I guess, seek attorney fees from Ms. Lott, Your Honor.
What are you asking for today?
Your Honor, for today, Your Honor, I'm asking for $1,500, Your Honor. And I can provide my affidavit to the court, Your Honor. We had to communicate with the court, Your Honor. I've been practicing law since 2008, Your Honor. I've been in good standing since that time. Your Honor, I charge my client a flat fee of the $1,500 just to try to see, just so we can file this motion for incarceration.
All right, Ms. Lott, raise your right hand. You swear or affirm the evidence you're about to present in the matter and hearing should be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth.
Your Honor, are you judging me?
If you want to call it that, but I assume you want to testify on your own behalf.
Yes, I do. And if the attorney is not going to be sworn in, that is a conflict of interest. And I have filed motions. I filed a quo warranto because I have searched for law licenses and I have not found any. There's been no true judges since 1789. And the United States filed a Chapter 11 in 1933, which lost their sovereignty as a government. So I can't even be heard here. I have asked the court to provide me documentation stating that this is an Article 3 court. I have not gotten anything back from the judge with any type of documentation from the Attorney General, from the Secretary of State. You guys have not had permission to try me, and no law is above God's law. So I cannot honor any of your laws. It supersedes every single law that you guys have given me. I have tried to settle this in court. I have filed a fiduciary relationship. 56. I am friends with the IRS. I have attempted to settle with a $20 money order because there is no money with the court, and everything was sent back. So rejection of payment is payment, Your Honor. And my religion strongly prohibits any satanic laws or rituals, and I cannot serve two masters. So either I don't even know what to do here in this matter, because I have asked to be tried in an Article 3 court. This is not a court of equity. God's law trumps all laws made by man. God also says no man should be judged or you will be judged. This is my religion. I have not broken any of God's laws. I have not committed any crimes. I have not harmed my offspring. I am the first lien holder on my child's estate. So there is nothing that I can do for Miss LaFleur, and I will not be paying it because my God told me not to. He gave me the instructions on what to do, and you guys refused it. You guys refused my quo warranto because it wasn't written in the way that you accept it, but I am not under your laws. I am friends with the IRS. I have sent out my documentation. I have my own contract with myself. I don't have a contract with you guys. I have not signed anything, and I am not a 14th Amendment corporate war citizen. I am a natural person. That is what I have to say.
You have any questions for Ms. Lott, Ms. St. Fleur?
Yes, Ms. Lott, were you present in court for the petition for a legitimation with Tariq Crump?
Ms. LaFleur, can you provide me your
It's St. Fleur. It's St. Fleur. It's not LaFleur. If we're gonna quote all of these articles, make sure you get my name right. It's St. Fleur.
St. Fleur?
It's St. Fleur. Were you in court? I mean, I'm not sure if any of the articles could tell me, but were you in court?
Questions. I have no further answers for any of your questions. I said what I said. This law does not trump God's law. I'm under God's law, and that's it.
Well,
She really just said a whole lot of nothing there. Honestly, I don't know how the judge kept a straight face. Either he's been on the bench long enough to have seen everything, or this woman is just on a completely different wavelength. What's wild is that she sounds confident, but when you actually break it down, there's no substance at all. I kind of get what she's trying to say with the whole sovereign law argument. Sure, nobody likes the idea of being controlled by the government. I understand that part. But that argument completely falls apart when you're actively breaking the law, shoplifting, ignoring court orders, and then showing up to court because of things you actually did. This isn't a case of someone being framed or wrongly accused. She committed the offense, didn't pay the fees, and now wants to pretend the system doesn't apply to her. At that point, the court has every right to enforce consequences, whether that's payment, jail time, or both. Her argument just doesn't hold any weight here. You can see right through it. And I honestly can't tell if she genuinely believes what she's saying or if she thinks acting this way is some kind of strategy. I know people sometimes play things up in court, but this doesn't feel like an act. It feels like someone who truly believes they're operating in a different reality. And what really gets me is how calm the judge is while she's going on like this. He hasn't even stepped in yet, which somehow makes it even funnier. But this is kind of the modern courtroom problem. People drowning in victim mentality, internet legal theories, and zero accountability. I'm not pro-government, and I'm not saying the system is perfect. But at some point, you have to own what you did. If you break the law, you deal with the consequences. That's just reality. Alright, let's move into the second half of this clip, because this is where the judge finally steps in, shuts this down, and hands her a sentence that hits a lot harder than she was expecting.
saying you had 10 days to pay this $2,755.40. Do you have any proof that any payment was made?
I have the proof here, and this was sent back to me. This is the money order that I sent to the court.
That's
Your
that
law-
$20 thing you said?
Yes, it is. That is the settlement that is written in your laws. I did send the thing. They sent it back, and refusal of payment is payment. So I will handle it with the IRS from here.
Well, $20 doesn't equal $2,755.40.
Or any court fees cannot supersede to $20, and that is what I paid as a natural person. I don't know about any U.S. citizen. I'm not a U.S. citizen. I'm a natural person and a private American. I've not committed any crimes under God's law. I have not stolen. I have not bared false witnesses. I have not killed anyone. I have not dishonored my mother and my father, and I have not put any man before God, and I will not put any of you guys before God either.
Fine. All right, Ms. Lott, I'm gonna find you in contempt of court for failure to pay the $2,755.40. Order you incarcerated, that is jailed, until you've paid the money.
I will be taking it up with the IRS, and I will be filing liens because you guys do not have liens over myself, my estate, or my child. So
You'll take it up with the sheriff first.
no, I will not, because the sheriff does not have any jurisdiction.
Turn yourself in, or the sheriff will come out and arrest you.
Jurisdiction over me, and the sheriff does not have any jurisdiction over
That's
me.
fine. Once you're released, I'll give you 90 days to pay an additional $1,500 for attorney's fees incurred by the plaintiff for today's proceeding. And I'll ask Ms. St. Fleur to submit the order.
Will do, Your Honor.
And include in that, the sheriff will notify the court when Ms. Lott has been arrested.
Can you guys provide me with evidence that you are Article 3 court and not a military court?
And
Some-
we'll send you a copy of the order.
I seriously don't understand what her plan was here. It really feels like she thought she could walk into court, act completely detached from reality, and somehow avoid consequences. Like the judge was just going to shrug and let it slide. That's not how court works, and this outcome should not have surprised her at all. Honestly, what she was saying is exactly what you'd expect from someone who either isn't thinking clearly or believes playing confused is some kind of strategy. Either way, It backfired hard. The sentence was absolutely deserved. She ended up with 6 months over a $2,000 court fee that stemmed from shoplifting and prior offenses. And instead of taking responsibility, she leaned all the way into a victim mentality and dug herself deeper. What I do want to give credit for here is the judge. He handled this like a complete professional. No emotion, no arguing, no back and forth. He treated it like another day on the job and let her talk herself into a corner. He barely said a word until it actually mattered, and when he did, that was it. Hammer down. I honestly wish more people handled situations like this judge does. A lot of people let emotions take over, escalate things, or get dragged into pointless arguments. This judge didn't. He stuck to the facts, the record, and the law. And let's be real, she could have had legal representation and tried to resolve this reasonably. Instead, she chose to act above the system, and the court saw right through it. What's crazy is that none of this needed to happen. There was no reason to go to jail over a $2,000 fine. If she had shown even a little accountability, this could have ended very differently, maybe with stricter payment terms or additional penalties. But the smugness, the arrogance, and the refusal to accept responsibility made jail inevitable. As for whether jail will actually change her, I don't know. Some people learn. Some people don't. She honestly seems very set in this mindset that she's above everyone else and not subject to the same rules. That kind of thinking is hard to break. So I'll end it on this note: if you stay out of trouble, you never have to pretend you're a victim or play games in court. Most of the time, people end up in situations like this because they refuse to own their choices. Playing the victim doesn't erase responsibility, it just makes the consequences worse. That's going to wrap up my breakdown. If you enjoyed the video, I'd really appreciate a like and a subscribe. It helps the channel a ton. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and tell me what you want to see next. Thanks for watching, and as always, take care.